Please help me welcome Bella.
Welcome, Bella.
Welcome, Bella.
Welcome to the call.
Welcome.
We're glad you're here.
Hello,
Great to hear you.
Welcome.
Welcome, Bella.
everything special. Welcome to my Eden. And this here is a godsend, like I said. This here, Juice Plus, the connection with food was essential, a turning point in my life. So with that, let me show you my garden real quickly, and then we'll get into my story. These are my babies. You know how if you have a tower garden, you know, those are your babies. We have to show them, right? So let's go ahead and let me show you exactly what I'm eating. Okay, this here is my tower. That's my kale that we eat a lot. I eat a lot of kale. We eat kale in our shakes, our smoothies. So I have curly kale here, if you can see that. And I have dinosaur kale here, which is very good for you. I have some thyme, if you can see that also. Now this here, I had to get another one. So this is the lettuce station. If you can see those scallions, these scallions are bigger than bigger than my hand. And you know, if you're eating stuff fresh, not cooked, I want to be able to eat those from my garden, which is essential. No pesticides, herbicide. And I fell in love with the tower garden. Just to take a look at it, you know, it's about food, but it's a stress reliever. And I come from a place of urgency. And I was at a lowest point in my life. At 41, I had a stroke. And a month later, I suffered a heart attack. And I was taken to ICU, and I had to have a quadruple bypass at 41 years old. And so I was just basically waiting to die, literally. You know, doctors did everything they could have done. Actually, 2 of the grafts failed. So I had to go and have another surgery to correct those issues. And at this point, I was on 25 different medications to keep me alive. And I know that was not going to be my fate. Actually, I thought I would die in my sleep because of the medication, everything I suffered. I went to the doctor one day and he told me, he says, we've done everything we can do medically for you. And, you know, you can go out and get hit by a bus. So you're just going to have to do what you can and take your medicine. And I'm like, there has to be a way. And I was sitting home using a walker, and my friend invited me to Michelle's Fletcher house, and T had invited her. This is just a chance acquaintance that I was able to go to Michelle's Fletcher's house. And she started a concept of fruits and vegetables. And I had no idea, because before that, you know, I was fabulous, I was big, black, and fabulous, living my best life, what I thought was my best life, right? And so she introduced the concept of fruits and vegetables. And I started listening to her, because back then, my vegetable of choice, the only vegetable I actually ate was corn. And the only fruit I really ate was strawberries. So I know I was deprived automatically when she started the video and really started talking about it, because I never addressed those issues. Fast food, sodas, and I was a diabetic, thinking that I can take this medication, which is the insulin, and I'll be okay, because the doctors told me that it was coverage. So I ate the same and I went about life. I was in school and life took a downturn for me. And so at that point, I was, like I said, I was on 25 different medications. And the simple concept of fruit and vegetable, I'm like, ouch, at that point, when you're desperate, you'll try anything to get back to a sense of you. So I was available. And, you know, we as Black people, we do that a lot. And we shouldn't, because I would spend $500, $700 on a purse or even on a shoe, but not willing to spend on my health. Go to the doctors and do what I needed to do to take care of myself, because the outside was so important, but I was dying on the inside. And it's not only this, it was stress. It was a lot of stuff that played a role in it looking back, right? And so I got the Juice Plus. I started taking it and I started to just immerse myself, because I saw Michelle, she was like all into her health. Joy, she was an avid runner. Cynthia was a yoga person. Sonia, she was a vegan or vegetarian cook. And I'm like, wow, I'm in a room with some powerful ladies. We have to be in the room. And so I started immersing myself in the community. I didn't start off by saying, oh, sign me up. No, I was luring and I was like curious, but I knew that these ladies was what I needed in my life. I changed my circle. Every event they had, I showed up. I showed up and showed out. I probably was the first person, because I wanted to get healthier. I wanted to get back a sense of who I was. I was waiting to die to a certain extent, but there was a spark. So I started learning. You know, there's always a workshop, there's always a seminar, and there's always a Zoom call, right? And the information is free. And like I said, the community, they kind of coalesced around me and we started a friendship. It's more like a sisterhood. It's not toxic. It's not talking about people. How can I help? We have this event. Let's go ahead and do it together. So I love that. That's what I needed. I needed to feel like I was important enough to actually put in the work that I needed to put in to work on me. You know, and I look back, I made sure my son went to his doctor and my daughter, made sure my husband did what he needed to do, but I never took care of myself until I started loving me. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to assess our lives and look at what we're doing and really ask ourselves, are we culpable or complicit in our demise? Are we doing what it takes to really, really live our fabulous life? And I had to do that not by choice. It took me almost dying to realize I wanted to live. And not for my son, not for my daughter. And to tell you the truth, when I had the stroke, I came home that day and I had a severe headache and I was getting ready. And my daughter came in and she's talking to me. And she said that, Mom, you sound funny. And I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm cooking. My son has to go to soccer practice. She called the emergency and they came. My blood pressure was sky high. Do you know, I refused to go to the hospital. I completely refused because this did not fit into my schedule. I had a test. I was in school at that point. I had to make sure that dinner was ready for my husband. I had to make sure that my daughter did her homework and my son was off to practice on time. Ladies, the question I ask everyone is, who's coming to your rescue? I was culpable, but I started a journey, and Juice Plus is pivotal in that I learned how to eat. I learned about foods. I learned about herbicides, pesticides. And when they introduced the tower garden, Michelle had her first one at her house. I was amazed at this. I'm like, wait a second, a tower garden, especially food that we don't cook. I don't want anybody touching it. I don't want any herbicides, pesticides, any growth or hormones put on those. I am feeding my body because I know my worth. Now I know my worth. So that's why I bought one tower garden and I got another tower garden, because I know that health is back here. Life is back here. And that's what I need in my body so that my cells can function. Now, I'm not where I need to be in my health because I still have issues. But today, let my story be a wake-up call to you to know that one heart attack, one stroke, it's one too many, which is so pivotal. So the urgency is do it. You're worth it. The urgency is love yourself enough to do so. And with that, back to you.